So, MLB trade deadline. Sounds good. Sounds very exciting. A lot of things trickling in, even at that last half hour. We've got all kinds of things. Stars moving back, moving away. Commitments looking like they're being broken. Oh man, that's tough to see. But hey, at least some teams are aware of vision and rebuilding and whether they should be competing or not. And some teams are also trying to prove to the league that they are, well, they're not dead yet. They're not rebuilding. Maybe we should add a few more pieces and then we can compete. We can get somewhere. How does that sound? But first, let's talk about the New York Metropolitans. Okay, what is going on with the New York Mets? All right? They should be calling themselves the Brooklyn Mets because they're looking like the Brooklyn Nets. The way that players are coming in, and now it looks like, maybe this isn't so amazing like it used to be. 2 years ago, the season before our previous one, we bring in Starling Marte, Mark Canha, Max Scherzer to help out Lindor and Alonso. And now beginning this year, we've got Justin Verlander. And now all of these guys are gone except for Marte. He's injured, but it's looking like the Brooklyn Nets. Everybody wanted to be here, and now we all want to leave. We all want to get out because it's just turning into a big dumpster fire. The Mets are not able to win. Nothing's really going well for them, and it's kind of hard to believe that. Not to mention Carlos Correa was supposed to be joining these guys. That is a little bit more disconcerting because, well, they didn't get him. Imagine if they had Carlos Correa. They inked him to whatever 3 years, 7 years, 300 million, whatever it was that they were going to be offering him. And then imagine if the Mets were this bad because Carlos isn't exactly doing it for the Twins over in Minnesota. Alas, Verlander as well. He gets ignominiously sent away by the Mets as they decide to completely restructure themselves and, well, turn a top contending team that we all thought that this was going to be the case for the Mets. We thought that they were going to be contenders. You don't hear contenders in baseball so much because it seems like every single division is divided. You either are getting in through the merit of your own division allowing you to do so, or you're literally the best team in the league. But here they are thinking that we're going to be competing, thinking that the Mets would have a chance and be one of the top contenders in the National League alongside of the Braves and alongside of the Padres and the Phillies and the Dodgers. The National League is just piling up. But here we have Verlander leaving them just after half a season. Basically, there's no place like home. Dorothy, send me home. Tap those little red slippers and take me back home sweet home to Houston. Because I just cannot stand it here in New York. That probably wasn't the case, but it was just a matter of the team being in a dead lake. And there was no current. Nothing was coming in. Nothing was leaving. Nothing was looking good. Back to Houston. Framber no-hitter. That was pretty exciting. I mean, I did not see that coming. Especially since he had a rough couple of outings. Like, let's be honest. It had been up and down. Hunter Brown, Luis Garcia obviously out with injury. But a lot of these pitchers not really finding their footing. Houston looking big, bad, and dangerous again. Yordan is back. Need I say more? I thought this guy was going to win MVP this year. For crying out loud. The Astros are just going full send on that repeat attempt. And over in Toronto, more pitching. Jordan Hicks coming in. Shortstop goes down. Best player for Bo Bichette. And then Toronto, obviously we're going to have to replace him. It's not looking good, at least in August. August has just begun. And we're already concerned, oh no, we've got nobody literally to replace Bo. What are we going to do? Bring in Paul DeJong, DeWalt, DeJong, DeClub, Deschette? Because we're going to need you to replace him, okay? There's a hole there, okay? Not like Springer, who just has had a very difficult time trying to formulate some hits here. Can we get you going? Can we get Vladdy going here? Vladdy only has 17 home runs. He should have 30 by now. But anyway, take care of the Orioles in the last game. Salvage the series, whatever. Moral victory. Feels a little bit good after getting destroyed 13-3. Blue Jays, still just one of those teams that's kind of stuck in the middle right now. Like, they're just looking like the Yankees. You never really know what's going to happen. Hard to have a lot of faith in them, but you can have more faith in them than the Yankees. Oh, my goodness. The Orioles, they add Jack Flaherty. I thought they were going to go after Dylan Cease. He just let up a complete dud. I forget who they were playing, but, man, the White Sox are just... I think they got rid of like 6 pitchers. They just cleaning the house out, okay? But anyway, Orioles, obviously one of the top teams. It's very interesting to see them. Such the transition that they were having from last year, where I had compassion on them because I was like, oh no, this team, they're not really that great, and it seems to be a struggling fan base, and what are they going to be like? Are they going to be good ever? And now we hear it's like just 1 year later, they're just destroying everybody, tearing up the American League, making me think, oh man, you bunch of buffoons. You had me, you had me giving you pity last year, and now look where it's gotten me. Lorenzen and Lynn going to greener pastures. Alas, we bring back the White Sox and we talk about how much you just want to get out of that American League Central. But it looks like a division that maybe you could just rack up a team to completely be in a position to compete, and then just sky's the limit because you're in a very easy division in baseball. But here we have, greener pastures, Lorenzen making his way over to Philly, completing that rotation. They're looking dangerous. They're looking good. Obviously not one of the best ones, but still it's up there. It's a very well-constructed, competing rotation. You have Lorenzen, who made an all-star. I believe his ERA was closer to 4 than it was to 3.0, but he still made it work, even with a losing record. Still been playing really well, better than he was last year since the Angels, pardon me. And then Lance Lynn going to the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, he was having trouble with the pitch clock. His ERA was up in the 6s, just like Manoah. These big guys just trying to figure it out, get it going, just something, a change of scenery. Everyone was excited for Lance Lynn. I was excited for Manoah, but both of these guys haven't been really able to find their footing. But man, LA Dodgers cooking it up, getting it going, looking good, obviously. But yeah, new look Angels. Lopez, Giolito, Cron, Grichuk. This is great because it's one of those situations where a team looked like they could have just been sellers. But no, we're going to be buyers, okay? We're going to be competing because we believe in this team. Now, can we get Mike Trout back? Can we get some consistent hitting? I know that this team has been going back and forth. The turnover is pretty insane. They're looking like last year's LA Lakers, or Maple Leafs for that matter, just huge turnover at the trade deadline. But that's what's got to happen. If this team can kind of figure out what they're doing, because they've been incredibly inconsistent. And it's been a very difficult division, the American League West, because Houston is just turning into this juggernaut. Texas isn't slowing down. Seattle is right on their tail. They're competing literally daily for their positions in the American League Central. So it's crazy. Seattle sends Sewald to Arizona because there really isn't much of a... Well, the Diamondbacks have a pretty bad bullpen. Seattle's got a pretty good one. So that one is pretty good. I like that. Makes sense. Guards weren't really going anywhere in their bullpen. I mean, pitching-wise, it's a little bit hard to kind of believe in their rotation as anything special or out of the ordinary. So we're going to have to see what Arizona can do, because their offense, clearly, it's capable of putting runs together and creating a lot of energy in that National League West, making the Padres and the Dodgers uncomfortable, and that's probably all that they can do. Alas, it's August, so that means football is right around the corner. Probably won't start talking to them until closer to September, probably the last week of August, because obviously there are injuries and there are just, we don't know what people are up to. It's way too early to tell. We're going to get a better picture closer to there. But in the meantime, an MLB trade deadline, it was an exciting one. It most certainly was.